Imagine walking deep into a rainforest where the air is thick, the ground shakes with distant booms, and every step feels like you're trespassing on a secret the earth itself is trying to hide. Then, boom, not thunder, not lightning, not a storm, a sound so powerful it hits your chest like a physical force, bending branches, scattering birds, and sending a shockwave through the soil. You turn toward the noise, expecting a rockfall or a collapsing tree, but the forest is still, completely still. For centuries, explorers in the Amazon and the mist-filled forests of Central America wrote about a tribe that could command thunder. Not with the sky, not with magic, but with sound. They called them the Echo People, a tribe so attuned to their environment they could turn the rainforest into a weapon, breaking branches without touching them, stunning animals, and sending enemy warriors fleeing in terror when blasts of invisible force tore through the trees. And then, just like many of history's strangest cultures, they vanished. The forest swallowed their homes. The storms erased their paths. No bodies, no ruins, no weapons, no trace of the devices they used, except for a handful of cryptic journals and oral stories passed down through terrified tribes who lived near their borders. But here's the part that sends chills down modern researchers. The technology described in those journals, the sound tubes, pressure gourds, and thunder pits, sound uncannily similar to directional acoustic weapons built today using advanced physics. How did a rainforest tribe, centuries before electricity, create something so powerful scientists still struggle to explain it? Stay close. This is the story of the tribe that tamed thunder and the lost sound weapons that were never meant to be found. Most lost tribes disappear quietly, fading into the jungle or blending into nearby cultures. But the Echo People didn't vanish quietly. Their disappearance shook the rainforest with a final storm of sound that tribes across the region still talk about in fear. Stories say they lived in a valley where thunder was born, a place where the air felt charged, where voices traveled strangely far, and where drums could be heard miles away even when barely struck. Explorers who ventured near the valley wrote strange observations. Whispers carry unnaturally long distances. The echo comes before the sound. Something in the air vibrates the bones. These weren't superstitions. Modern scientists reading those journals noticed something unusual. Descriptions consistent with natural acoustic chambers, rare geological formations that trap and amplify sound waves. The Echo People didn't just live there. They evolved with it. A tribe shaped by an environment where sound was as powerful as wind or rain. And the forest around them responded. Animals avoided the valley. Trees grew in spirals, guided by subtle vibrations. The soil was pitted with natural resonance bowls, where thunder rumbled even on clear days. For generations, neighboring tribes kept their distance. They believed the Echo People spoke with the sky, that they could summon storms, that their drums made warriors bleed from the ears. When the Echo People finally disappeared, the forest didn't grow quiet. Instead, for 3 full days, the jungle shook with distant booms, as if a war was happening in the clouds. Then, silence. A silence so absolute that even insects refused to enter the valley. No one dared to go see what happened. Not until centuries later, when researchers finally entered the valley in the mid-20th century. Expecting ruins or skeletons, they found almost nothing, except for one chilling pattern. Every structure the tribe built, huts, meeting spaces, ceremonial areas, was perfectly aligned along resonance paths. These were invisible sound highways running through the valley, where even a whisper could travel the length of a football field. But the real shock came when they discovered the pits. Dozens of deep, bowl-shaped depressions carved into the earth, lined with a strange mixture of clay, tree sap, and pulverized stone. They looked like fire pits, until someone shouted into one. The ground trembled. Birds took flight. A low-frequency boom rolled across the valley even though nothing touched the pit walls. That's when scientists realized these weren't fire pits. They were amplifiers, massive natural subwoofers designed to turn small sounds into devastating force. And then the artifacts appeared. Fragments of gourd-like instruments, hollow tubes carved from hardwood, membranes made from animal hides stretched impossibly tight. Reconstructed, these devices produced sounds so intense that water vibrated into patterns, leaves shredded under pressure, nearby branches snapped clean in half. Some emitted deep infrasound capable of causing panic, nausea, and hallucinations in humans, phenomena we associate today with military-grade sound weapons. But the worst was the thunder gourd, a device described in ancient stories as the drum that splits storms. When a test version was activated, even at a fraction of its supposed power, the shockwave cracked a metal container. The Echo people didn't just use sound, they weaponized it, and someone or something forced them to use it one last time. The Echo people weren't the first to discover the peculiar acoustics of their valley, but they were the first to shape their entire culture around it. Their rituals, sound-based, their hunting strategy, infrasound bursts that stunned prey, their warfare, thunder gourds that created shockwaves strong enough to break formations. But the valley held a secret even they feared, a geological fault beneath it that amplified not just noise, but reverberation damage. Imagine a glass that shatters when a singer hits the right note. Now scale that up. If the valley was hit with too much sound energy at once, researchers believe the effect could be catastrophic. A chain reaction of vibration bouncing between the hills until the entire area collapsed in on itself. And that is exactly what some explorers think happened. The final event. The 3 days of thunder. A war fought entirely with sound. Shockwaves bouncing back and forth. Structures collapsing. The valley floor fracturing. The Echo people may have unleashed their ultimate defense. A weapon so powerful it tore apart not their enemies, but themselves. The valley today is scarred with strange sinkholes, collapsed caves, and channels where soil liquefied under intense vibration. No bodies were ever found. No bones. No remains. If the valley truly collapsed during a catastrophic resonance event, everything, people, tools, weapons, would have been buried beneath tons of vibrating earth. A culture erased by the same force it tried to master. Thunder. A tribe that tamed thunder, destroyed by the force they mastered. But here's the twist modern researchers can't ignore. The Echo people didn't seem afraid of what they built. Their art shows them embracing the storm. Their tools show intentional engineering. Their rituals show understanding, not fear. Maybe they didn't lose control. Maybe they made a choice. Some anthropologists propose a chilling theory, that the Echo people believed the valley wasn't just home, but alive. A sleeping spirit, a giant, a god beneath the earth. And the resonance event, the final thunder, wasn't an accident. It was an offering, a sacrifice of their entire culture to awaken something they worshipped. When you visit the valley today, GPS fails. Voices echo strangely. Some visitors report hearing distant booms with no storms in sight. The land remembers. Sound leaves scars. Maybe the tribe didn't vanish. Maybe they became part of the valley's pulse. Their bodies dissolved, their weapons buried, their legacy echoing through the stones every time thunder rolls. So here's the question left to us. If a tribe discovered a power so immense, so primal, that it could reshape earth and sky, would they use it to conquer, to defend, or to transcend themselves entirely? Tell me in the comments, do you think the Echo people died, or did they become something the rainforest still listens to? And if you want more dark stories where science, myth, and forgotten cultures collide, make sure you subscribe. There are deeper echoes waiting.